Good afternoon. We're very fortunate today, definitely. Like I said before, sometimes it's just that things happen in life that brings that spark or that light bulb to us that will help us change our lives. And that's why for me, personally, through the years as an entrepreneur, being a business owner for more than 20 years, I love going to events just to find out the secrets, right? So this afternoon, our second speaker, you've seen her on stage already. She's quite an individual. I met her 10 years ago. After I got out of the furniture business, I became an auctioneer. And as I was networking, tried to get business in the local Chamber of Commerce in Alhambra, Pasadena, Arcadia, through a friend, I met her in this very hotel 10 years ago, upstairs in a little room. And I saw a lady with amazing passion, amazing heart, and I've seen her help so many people change their lives. And sometimes it's just, there are people who have that gift, who can get to us. And as her friend and also her being my mentor, there's sometimes in life when we have those ups and downs. And when we are down, sometimes we just don't see the hope for ourselves, like Les says, that other people see in us. And she has been there for me quite a bit. Welcome, my friend, mentor, taking a company from 0 to 1 billion, Miss Kim Hui.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you. How many of you are ready to expand your world, like let's talk about? Now, how many of you would not raise your hand no matter what I ask? I hope that I ponder on what can I do this afternoon that can be of value to all of you. And I know that some of you have flown in from the East Coast. Some of you have flown from Canada. Some of you have flown in from Hong Kong. And from all walks of life, from different angles, from different corners of different places, that we came together this afternoon for a reason. And so I ponder on the topic and the contents that I could do. What can I do? What can I bring to the table? What can I do of value that could be of service for all of us here in 2016? You know, let's talk about, Mr. Brown talked about having the new you. The new you has to arrive for the new year to make a change. And so, I thought about different things like a waterfall all coming down, pouring down. And I looked at my last 22 years of being an entrepreneur. All these things that came down on my head, just pouring down. And I said, I need to digest and organize in a way that can help. What were some of the things that helped me took action? Not only took action, but totally changed my life. And this area called San Gabriel that we are in right now, this is the hood that I grew up in. So this is my neighborhood. And when I came here, it brought back a lot of memories that I went to high school here in the U.S. Then I went to college. Then I went away to Orange County to UC Irvine. And then I work in corporate America on the west side in West Los Angeles. So in different part, it just brings back a lot of memories for me of several things. One is being on stage with Les. I don't know how many of you gotten, it's hard to comprehend, it's hard to articulate the meaning behind that. And a lot of times you could just feel it, and I don't know, and some of you, how many of you have like, what's it called, idol, like, you know, movie star, celebrity idol, how many of you had them? Now, I don't know who that might be. If you have a movie star idol that you idolize them, you think that they are the coolest gig. And then all of a sudden, you get to be buddy, and friends with them. How does it make you feel? That for me, many years ago, I can only listen to Les' voice on a cassette tape. I can only read his book. But to have the blessing to listen to him, and also off stage and on stage. And some of the story that he got to share with us, it brings everything home. So for me, what am I going to talk about this afternoon? And I hope that the things that I share not only will allow you to tap into a new space to succeed in life, but more importantly, enter a a different dimension of growing. A lot of times when people look at something, when people look at success, for example, and many of you are in a company called Jeunesse with us. We went from zero to become $1 billion. Well, whatever that might be, we'll just call it a name, a company. But a lot of times people look at success, it's just on the face of it. That people want to model after their success, the possessions, the things that these successful entrepreneurs was able to achieve. But you know what the secret is? It's not what you see, the possessions, the bling bling. It's not that. Is that what you need to model after? Dig under the cover. Look behind. Go into a different dimension. Look behind the work that it took these people. That what did they do to be where they are? What did they do to have the possessions that they do? What did they do and what did they continue to do to be where they are in life? So it is, if you look at, we're creating a poster, and I got this idea from it, and I thought, well, why don't I share this idea? And that we were creating a poster of all the diamonds. The poster looks beautiful, you know. And obviously, these days with technology, you can Photoshop anything that you don't want from the photo. And so, if you look at that service of beautiful faces, but what gotten them there are not those faces. If you were to, this is the banner. If you were to go behind the banner, if there is such a thing, in your imagination, enter a different dimension, enter a different space and look at them, go behind them, look behind what they did, how they did it to get to where they are. And so that's what I'm going to talk about this afternoon, is that, you know, today, you know, to begin your 2016, we have Les Brown to help kick it off. But I want to take a more practical side, because I'm no different than any one of you. Those of you that know my story, I'm a housewife. My husband's a medical doctor. And before Jeunesse, I actually help him manage his medical clinic. And I do the billing, I do the payroll, I clean house. At our house, I do pretty much everything. I'm a driver, chauffeur, to take my kids to and from school. And so I am no different than any one of you. But why is it, and what is it that, I guess when I look at the last 20-somewhat years, same platform, same life in this universe. Why is it some people just excel and some just don't? But more importantly, I look at my life, the last 20-somewhat years. As an entrepreneur, what were some of the things that I did to get me from where I was to where I am here today? So I like to share that with you. And I'd like to share with you, I will open my heart to share with each and every single one of you. Now, I would like to ask this one thing from you, is to stay awake and aware and be conscious of the things I'm going to share. And because people say, well, what does that exactly, what does that mean, be conscious? Because a lot of times, human minds like to take things that they like to hear, that they're comfortable with, and when something that maybe points out to their weakness, they run away with it. They blocked it. We became selective listeners. We take the things that we like, and then things that we don't like, we run away with it. And I ask for you this afternoon, and I'm going to pour my heart out to you. The things that took me to where I am. And I went and organized my thought. As a matter of fact, the last 2 nights, I really say, you know what? I want to bring value. I want to make a difference. I want to help make a difference to society. Especially right here in home for me, United States of America. This is home for me. And so I want to say, you know what, we were able to create all these successes outside the U.S. I said, it's time to bring that home right here. And so I hope today you open your eyes and your minds, your ears, and more importantly, that consciousness, open that to listen to the things I'm about to share with you. Because it is those things that allow me to went from being a very ordinary person to become still an ordinary person, but with extraordinary results. So how many of you want that? Now, so this thing called life, and this is what I gather, and I think that these are some of the things that I did to get me where I am, and I want to share that with you. This thing called life. How many of you at one point in your life, you have dreams and goals? How many of you? And I believe you all still do. That's why you show up today. Today, what day is today? Saturday, right? See, every day is a weekend to me. And I don't know if you can feel it so far. I am very passionate what I do. I live and breathe what I do. This is no longer business. For me, like when I heard Les talk about, being the voice of hope, I love that. It resonates with me. Especially what's going to happen in society in these days. I think we need more of voices of hope. So this is us. That's me. And it can be you. Okay? Now, this thing called life. What do people want in life? What are some of the things people want in life? Now, this is New Year, and this is really for participation. It's important. What are some of the things that's important to you? What are some of the things you want in life? What are some of the things, okay, if you don't want to disclose what you want in life, what do you think people want in life? Success, right?
To know my life matters.
To know your value, right? Your life matter, value. To bring value and meaning, right? The importance. What else? To make a difference. What else? Happiness. Health. What else? Wealth. What else? Security. What else? Freedom. By the way, these are all common wants of human being. Not Fremont. Fremont's a street nearby here. Freedom. Creature of habits. Okay, now, so these things that we want, it's pretty general, right? But how do we hone in? What is it that the human brings? We want this, we want money, we want time freedom, we want security, we want happiness, we want a great family, we want love. We want fun. All these things we want. So now how many of you would like to say, you know what, these are all the things we want? How do you go from where you are to where you want and have the gap much closer to you to get there? How many of you want that? So this is what I found out, and this is what has helped me to go from here to some of the things here. Now, when people look at life, these things we want, it's as if it's separate from us. But it's not. The first thing we got to do, there are 4 steps. The first step we got to do is to organize these things that we want in life. What's important to you in life? Folks, you talk about, yes, with a team of people collectively, with a great platform, we were able to build a company from 0 to become $1 billion. But what's important is not that $1 billion. It's the lessons and the experiences that we get to grow into and become as a person. Sometimes people fascinate by the story of building $1 billion company. And it's very fascinating. These are things that these are things that I didn't study at UCLA. These are things you didn't study at your MBA school. I mean, you could have studied it, but the things that you study on the books, on the pages of those textbooks are very different than when you're actually on the pavement, hitting the trenches, and building a company from 0, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion. These milestones, what's hidden behind those numbers are meaning that's beyond human measure. It gives so much fullness, meaning to life. So I want to talk about, after 20 years, I sat down and said, okay, I mapped out my life. So what is it that I did that helped me get to where I am? So this is what I came up with. 4 things. Number 1, of all these things that we want in life now, is it safe to assume that all of us want pretty much the same thing in life? True or not true? How many of you want to have freedom in life? Freedom. Do what you want when you want. Don't have to. How many of you have a job right now? Show of hands. How many of you would like to say one day, you know what? I no longer need to show up to work, but my money keeps on coming. How many of you like that? See, so not showing up to work is one thing, right? Having a check come is another thing. Okay, now, so having freedom and being healthy. So the things I came up with, number 1, is to organize these things in categories that our mind and our brain can function. That's how it worked for me. So this, instead of life being this thing up here, life encompasses all of us. So this is what I call the PC of life, the pie chart of life. Okay? PC of life. Okay, now, the pie chart of life. So whatever is important to you, and I think in human needs, the common categories of the pie chart, and this is my own pie chart, and you can do your own pie chart, okay? For me, health is very important, okay? Now, there is physical health, and there is also emotional and spiritual health, okay? So let's call it health and fitness. The other one, for me, it's very important, is spiritual and emotional health, wellness, okay? Spiritual and emotional wellness. The other one, very important, is what? Family, relationships. Be it relationship with, how many of you have children? It's important to have good relationship with our children and our parents. You know, one of the things that inspire me so much and touches me so much is Les Brown telling a story about buying a home for his mama. And that's his adopted mom. So these are relationships, these are value, these are things that's very important to help guide us our direction into life. Okay, now, and talk about expanding our world, okay? So family, relationship, family with your spouse, your kids, your parents, okay? So these are these are relationships with friends. What else is important? Is this important? Well, you got your health, right? You got good relationship with family. Well, it takes money to support the family, doesn't it? So finance, money, business. Now, for some of you that have a job, right now it could be work. Your business, it could be work, your job, your career. Then another one is what? Finance. You know, having a job and finance are two different things. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? You have a business. When you make money in business, I've learned the hard way. When you make money in business, what you got to do? You got to be good at managing your finance, your money, okay? So finance could be your investments, you know, whatever that might be. Now, the other category is lifestyle. How many want to have money and still have a lifestyle to show for it? How many of you like that? So lifestyle, so for me, and I'll give you an example. So these are the first step that I did. I break down in my life what's important to me. Then these categories, for example, success. Success for me falls into your business, okay? Then, for example, being healthy, it's health and fitness. So you categorize all this blob here. It's in this open space of things that we want in life. I categorize it. I organize it, okay? That's number one. The second thing is what I called, the next three things are what I call 3 W's, okay? And breaking down to each category. So now I organize my thoughts. So let's talk about 2016. How many of you made your New Year resolution? Okay, I did mine too, by the way. So let's use me as an example, okay? Why is it important? Because look, I come to you as authentic as I possibly can, because this is what took me from where I was. Look, 22 years ago, I was a struggling entrepreneur. I had a good job, but I got laid off. And I went on a journey of entrepreneurship. Did it come to me right away? No, it didn't. It took a lot of growing. It took a lot of rejections. It took a lot of building. It's going through those different dots of life. And to have gained the insights behind those lessons to be where I am here today. And so the first thing is ask yourself, okay, now for example, fitness. That's a category, fitness. What is it? The first W is what is it I want? The first thing is what is it that I want? What result do I want to accomplish in fitness? Let's take a category. And I'm going to get to business in a second because some of you came here to look for a way to change your financial landscape. So for now, let's talk about fitness. So for me, what is it I want? For me personally, within the next 3 months, I want to lose 15 pounds. Now, I'm putting on video, so I better go to work and make it happen, okay? So the first step is what is it you want? For me, 15 pounds. The second thing is very important. The fuel, the juice to help you get going is the second W, which is why do you want to? Why do you want to do it? Whatever that may be, why? What is your why? We often talk about what is your why? What is your why? Well, what exactly does that mean? What is your why? Well, why do I want to lose 15 pounds? How many of you like to know why I want to lose 15 pounds? How many of you want to know? You nosy bunch. It's okay. I want to lose 15. Now, why? These are things that create emotion for me. Because when there's emotion, it will help deliver action, commitments to commit to get the job done. So why is it important to me? Well, first, it's very important to me. I want to be able to fit in my clothes and continue to fit in my clothes, okay? So, and I want to look good. So look good. I want to feel good. And when I wear clothes, I don't want the pouch to be showing up. Some of the ladies, after you have kids, you know what that means. So looking good, feeling good is important. But more importantly, I want to stay healthy. If I want to continue to make a difference to humanity, if I want to continue to do the work that I do, I want to stay healthy. So being healthy is a strong enough a reason to do something? Absolutely. So I want to look good, feel good, and being healthy. And wear beautiful clothes. And have beautiful clothes to look good on me. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. So that is my why. So whenever these why, I mean, there's a lot more things I probably don't want to share because it's a little too private. But these are things that matters to me. It is important for me. These brings value to my life. It brings me happiness. So my why. Now, number 3 thing. Number one, the first W is what was it you want? In each categories, the wheels of life, the pie charts of life. What is it you want? See, when you ask that question, most people do not know what they want. It's so generic. Yeah, I want to be happy. Yeah, I want to be successful. Yeah, I want more money. Well, what exactly does more money mean to you? More money? I give you $10. Now you got $10,000 more. Are you guys with me so far? You got to be specific. What kind of result do you want to achieve in that category? So, number 3, what do I have to do to get it? The action plan. What do I have to do? What to do to get this? For me, being married to a physician has a little advantage. So my husband tells me, okay, first step, cut down 50% of your carb. I said, then I could do it. I cannot cut 100%, but I can cut 50% of my carb, okay? So step number 1, these are my action plans. Cut 50% of my carb. Step 2, cut 50% of the sweet, the chocolate, the sugars. Not 100%, I gotta start somewhere, okay? Number 3, walk 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. I could do that. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Put on your tennis shoes. Now, a lot of times, each and every single, and I want to bring this example so you guys get this. The mere fact of our very existence here, together here and outside of here, we are somehow, somewhat, some way making a difference to other people, and yet we might not realize it until someone articulates it to you. I'll give an example. There's someone that motivates me. There are several people that motivate me and inspire me to do the 30-minute-a-day walk. And unbeknownst to the people I'm going to share with you, they didn't know this. Unbeknownst to them, just because they told me their story, it inspired me to say, you know what, I could do that. That first person that inspired me to do the 30-minute-a-day walk 5 times a day, 5 times a week, is a person sitting in this room. This person doesn't know she inspired me, but she did. And that goes to the point in your life, in your existence, of whatever you're doing in your life. You are making an impact and making a difference to people. You just don't know it yet. Perhaps they didn't have a chance to tell you. And that person that inspired me to walk 30 minutes a day is right here. That's Angie. Give her a big round of applause. Angie, I said, Angie, how do you stay so good looking, having 2 kids, and I only have 1? And she goes, easy. Every morning, I get it out of the way, 30 minutes. I said, what do you do? I put on my tennis shoes, I jog on the treadmill, and 30 minutes a day. Then I happened to go see her house over the holidays, and right there in her bedroom, there was a treadmill. And it's having verbal and visual thing all linked together. I said, I have a treadmill at home that's collecting dust. I said, I could do that. I could put on tennis shoes and go on a treadmill. 30 minutes, it goes by just like that. And as a matter of fact, while I'm doing the 30 minutes a day, I could do part of my emotional and spiritual wellness. When I'm on my treadmill for 30 minutes, I can Google on YouTube anything and everything I want to watch to grow what's up here. Anything and the things I want to listen to empower my brain, to reprogram myself to grow as a human being. So she inspired me, but she didn't know. I just merely watch her treadmill, and she goes, I just put on my tennis shoes, and they're right there. See? And then my son got on her treadmill and started walking on that thing. I said, you know what? I'm going to do that at home. And started yesterday, I started doing that. 30 minutes a day. So 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. I'm going to start consistently doing yoga. I love yoga. So I do yoga, I do Pilates. So these are things that we have to do what? To do this. A lot of times people don't do because it lacks clarity of all these things that we want, success and health and all this stuff. But without having a clear plan of action, we just get lost. Because when our human minds work like this, for me, at least for me, when it's all a blob, how many of you ever get like over-inundated? You become immobilized. How many of you have that feeling? See, I don't know, like for me, I only have one kid, okay? Now, besides running a business and traveling like crazy and on the phone a whole lot, sometimes I go home, I go, oh my gosh, I've got all these tasks that I have to do. And I get so overwhelmed, and I don't know where to begin. How many of you have that feeling? See, same thing for me. I said, oh my goodness, when do I have time? Then in my head, there's this mental clutter. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta make this phone call. Oh, I gotta write this email. Oh, I gotta respond to this. Blah, blah, blah. I got a whole gazillion things to do. And right in front of my face is a whole bunch of things to do. You know, for me, based on my years of experience, you know what's the best to do? Just do nothing. Get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, sit down in a clean space. Remove all the mental clutter. Get a piece of paper and categorize it. Write it down. When you put it down on paper, it becomes very, okay, to lose weight. Instead of saying, well, I need to lose some weight, and this is what I need to do to get it. I'm going to lose 15 pounds, and this is what I want to do to get there. I will lose 15 pounds in 3 months or less. And I want to sustain it. I want to keep it off. How many want to lose weight and keep it off? Keep that thing off, okay? Now, the other thing that I will do will help is I'm going to take Zen Body. So I'm going to begin taking Zen Body. So watch a new me. You know that picture? That picture on the video, that was me before kids, okay? So these are things. This is what I want to do, the results. Be very specific. The results, why? I will imagine that picture that you saw in the video with the toned, lean muscle. Be able to fit in my clothes, look good, feel good. I mean, how many can feel? How many of you have an expectation of what you think a healthy body looks like? How many of you do that? See, my son says, Mommy, you look like you're pregnant. So you don't say that to a woman. You don't say that to a mom. But see, it is true. I look at myself and say, oh my gosh, I really need to do something with my look. So I said, you know, we always teach people. Now, by the way, where you focus your energy is where things in that area flows. The last few years, obviously, I focus a lot of my energy on business. Some of the areas a little bit off balance. Here comes 2016. It's a new me. It's a new year. It's a new world, expanded world. And so in each and every category, you do that. It's that simple. What you want to accomplish, Okay, first thing, remember the 4 steps. First one is what? O stands for organize. Just declutter. A lot of times what prevents people from working towards their dream, what prevents people from, there's different dreams. For me, I break dreams into different areas. Finance, money, finance. Spiritual growth and emotional wellness is very important to me personally. And I dedicate a lot of my time in that area. So whatever is important to you, you put that category and then you put your plan of action, the 3 W's. First W, what is it you want? Be specific. What do you want? What do you want? Second thing is, why do you want it? Because you know why? Whenever you set a goal, there will be temptations. There will be challenges. There will be things that might not go your way. What's going to keep you in the game? Your why. That's your juice. That's your fuel. That's your fuel to help you drive through the thing that what's called the peaks and valleys of life. Okay? So, and then have a very specific plan of action. For me, I'm Chinese. I love rice. How many of you love rice? Pasta, noodle, bread. Yum, yum. You tell me to cut 100%, I can't do it. 50% I said I could do. So when my husband and I go to breakfast, we have a bowl of noodle. First thing he's, okay, honey, 50%. I said, got it. I will take out 50% of the noodle, and I will eat there. It takes commitment. Why do I want to do that? I think about the outfit I want to wear. I think about how good I would look without this pouch. And I think about, how good, look, we're in the wellness business. Well, how inspirational would it be if you show people, hey, listen, I set a goal and I did it and you can too. Now, this is on fitness. I set a goal on finance. I set a goal on business. From zero, from negative, from in debt to debt-free to building a wealth portfolio. So this is my very vulnerable area. And I am so courageously vulnerable to share with you my plan. Now, how many of you had it on your plan this year to kind of lose some weight? How many of you? Let's do it together. Will you commit to it? But you got to write down these 3 W's. It's your 3 W's. See, my W may not drive you. It is your own why that turns you on. It's got to be personal. I don't know. How many of you single ladies are in the audience? Single, unattached? Let's say if you have a guy that you really like, and I've been there, I was single once. I said, listen, I'm going to have a buff body so that, do you know what I'm saying? So whatever that is, that turns you on. What is your why? I tell you, when you play that, and I love what Les talked about, live in your imagination, not in your circumstances, nor your history. It is, I remember it vividly 20-some years ago when I became an entrepreneur, and I was struggling at that time. Things didn't happen. I had a dream of becoming a US dollar millionaire, but it didn't happen overnight. And I would get myself, I listen to the positive tapes. All my friends and my relatives call me Miss Positive. I will go to bookstore, and whenever I go to bookstore, my sisters and my relatives all laugh at me. Oh yeah, where's Kim? Kim is in the self-help section. How many people in the self-help section? Raise hand. You know what? At least we're the thinkers. We're the doers. Now they are very friendly. You know what they call it now? New age. We are new age people. And so, but you know what? I didn't care what anybody thought. So it is important that you live in that imagination of yours. And I did. There were times I didn't know how to buy gasoline. There were times I go to an event. I didn't know how to pay for the event. There were times I would fly to a convention and I didn't have the money. But I went anyways. You know why? Because I was so gung-ho about my dream. I have this hope. In life, the best gift. What's the best gift you can give to someone? It's the gift of hope. When you give the gift of hope to other people, I tell you, that's the most fulfilling thing for yourself and for other people. So when Angie talked about, yeah, 30 minutes a day on a treadmill. I said, oh, I could do that. It is hopeful. Now, I've been carrying the pouch for a while now, for a few years now, and I go, wow, there's hope. So I was thinking, why didn't I work out sooner? Why didn't I stick with a personal trainer longer? Because I didn't work this thing out. I worked it out in my business world and neglected part of it in my health and fitness. And so when it's important to you, you go to your 3 W's. Now, is it becoming, so when is this? I say, you know what, the meal comes, 50% carb gone. Coffee or milk tea, 50% sugar. 50% less sugar. Workout easy. Zen body, love it. So this is the plan. Now, it's that simple. This is what I have. This is what I want. This is what I have to do. See, my thoughts go faster than my ability to speak. So, what do we have to do? See, it's not, what do you have to do to turn your dreams into reality? Do we have a clear-cut plan? So that's my plan on the health and fitness. Now let's talk about business, because today is a business seminar. So in business, I will tell you how I did it when I started building this business. The company was nowhere to be found, not seen, not on the ground, it was underground. There was no packaging, there was nothing. As a matter of fact, it was like a manufacturer making a whole bottle. And we started right here in St. Gabriel Hilton. A big bottle came without any label. And we didn't have Dixie cup at that time. I think Winnie was with us. We had those little plastic spoon. We were testing that thing with plastic spoon. And I don't know what's in that thing, but we all got excited. We all decided to commit to build something, okay? Now, so for me, this is business. Is that 1S? 1S. I did go to college. Business. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, business. What is your business goal? Number 1. In your finance, in your work, in your job. Now, you can apply this in your job and whatever you do. So in your business, what is it you want to do? For me, one of the things I wanted to do that's measurable. Now, I want to help my friends as Kim, you cannot retire yet at that time. Winnie, Samson, and a few other friends. They said, you know what, you're too young to retire. Yes, I was blessed to make money in this industry, but they said, you can't retire yet. You have to help us to become millionaire. Now, helping them to become millionaire is hard to measure because I am not in their body. I can't tell them what to do. I cannot control them what to do. So what is something that's measurable for me? So something that was measurable for me at that time was to beat my personal record. Can you imagine if you're blessed to make what someone make in a year, you make that in a week. That means someone had to work 52 years. Then you work 1 year is equivalent to someone have worked 52 years. That's almost a lifetime. Are you guys with me so far? You are looking at a Chinese American girl, woman, 50 years old, from nothing to where I'm here today. So everything I'm sharing with you is I have done it. And these are things that took me from struggling to where I am. And that's why I ask for your consciousness to stay alert, stay awake, stay with me. There is a point here, stay with me. Okay, now, so I said, I want to break my personal record. I set a goal to break my personal record, and I set a goal to break that in 6 months. Now, did I do that in 6 months? I didn't. What did I do? Did I give up? No, I didn't. I went at it and I went at it. It took me, I think, 1 year and 3 months. Year and a half, less than 1.5 years to break that mark. Now, I told people that I'm going to break my personal best in 6 months. When it didn't happen, what happened? Life, part of life. This is what I want. I didn't get it. What do? You find another way. You continue. If something's worthy of your cause, if something's meaningful to you, what do? Go at it. How many have a job? Show of hands. If your job didn't work out, what would you do? Find another job. If your boss fired you, what do? You fire him before he fires you. Go find another job. Same thing. You set a goal, you didn't hit it, what do? Go to next step. Now, so business. I set a goal I said, I'm going to break my personal record. When you know what you want and you articulate it to other people, and when it didn't happen yet, most people will find ways, excuses, reasons to blame, to denial. Or they will find things to justify why things didn't work that way. How many of you had a dream at one point in your life of becoming a millionaire? Show of hands. Now, how many of you had that dream that came true? How many of your dream didn't come true? The rest of you, right? It didn't come true. Okay, now most of you. So what had happened? It didn't come true. Do we take time to blame other people? To blame whatever that, maybe it didn't happen for a reason. Maybe it didn't, things happen in life for a reason. Why did I got laid off 20-some years ago? I believe now looking back in my life, I believe I got laid off for a reason. When I first got involved in network marketing in 1994, the first group of people that I sponsored all quit. They wouldn't even return my phone call. It happened for a reason. Had I not gone through those challenges, or at that time, what was perceived as rejections, frustrations, disappointment, I wouldn't have the story, nor the compassion to understand what it takes to become an entrepreneur. It takes a lot. It takes a whole different you. Whatever result that you have in your life, if you wanted something more fulfilling, it doesn't have to be money, but money certainly helps. But whatever that is, whatever that meaning you want more in your life, be willing to fight for it. Be willing to accept and learn and grow into the person. See, what's so valuable for me, after 20-some years, and blessed to make the kind of money that I'm blessed to make, are those wisdoms, are those experiences, the joys, the ups and downs, the laughter, the tears, everything collectively embraced in one package. You couldn't get it from a textbook. You couldn't get it from watching a video. It would be a lot more meaningful for you had you walked through the path and taste the tears and experience those experiences I had as an entrepreneur. It would bring a whole lot of meaning to your world. And so one of my results I want to do is I want to break that record. In 6 months, I want to do that. And the second thing, why? What is so important for me? I don't know. At that time, maybe a little bit of ego. I want to be better than I was. Maybe a little bit of a chip on my shoulder to tell my friend. I mean, some of you have met him. How many of you met Godfather? Jason Karamanis. I mean, he and I are both very competitive, in a friendly competition in a good way. So, as a matter of fact, he was one of the first guy I called. And he says, Kim, good luck. When you make that, because he says, Kim, I'm not like you. I don't want to build something from scratch. You go prove it works. Then when it works, when you break that record, then you call me. Now, some people will take that as a rejection and say, you know what? The guy didn't join me, then I'm going to quit. No, my why, my goal is bigger than his answer to me. So what did I do? I took it on as a challenge. I said, woohoo, watch me. I'm going to make it happen. Did it happen overnight? No, it didn't. I told him 6 months. Give me 6 months. 6 months came and gone. Did I make it yet? No, I didn't. But I was still proud. I said, Jason, it's at this number. He didn't move. Then a couple of months went by. I said, Jason, at this number, he didn't move. I said, Jason, get your butt moving. Now I passed it a year and a half later. He started working. See, a lot of people are standing by the sideway watching you. What would you do? All these years, and I want to really get this to you. All these 20 years, none of my sisters wanted to join me. None. It's okay. They're wonderful, lovely people. It took me 20 years of therapy to say that. So finally, I accept and embrace. It's just like, there's a lot of things I resonate with. Like less Let's talk about his brother, right? I mean, it's like, why couldn't you change? Why didn't you change? But you just have to learn. I mean, it's life comes a full circle for me. It took me so many years to finally embrace and accept people are who they are. You can't change them unless they wanted to be changed. We can only influence. How many of you know of people that tell you, or they are already joined you in this business, that they told you they want to be successful? Yes, I want to do this. I want to succeed. And Les Brown came here, that we are all here, and they don't even show up. And they live in Los Angeles. Isn't it funny? Oh, you mean I have to pay? Yeah. You dream, but you must be willing to pay the price to make that dream a reality. The thing I talk about, to enter a different dimension. This is a diamond. Look behind the diamond. Look what they do every single day. And look what they are still doing every single day. To have the bling bling, to have the possessions. It takes work. It takes courage. It takes determination. Do you have it? Why is it important to you? For me, why is it important? At that time, it's important because it was a bragging right. I want to brag about it. I want to say, hey, you know what? If I did it before, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it better. And it is a lot more better. So, your why. This is the result I wanted. Short term. We have short term goal and long term goal. Now, one of my long term goals. How many of you want to know my day one dream was when I first joined network marketing? How many of you want to know that? Now, measurable dreams, okay? I mean, some of them are obviously was like family. I want to take my parents travel around the world and all those stuff. But one of my dreams, my very first dream, was when I heard from my sponsor or some of the leaders, I forgot what, in a company, they told me the icon of this industry, the icon of network marketing, the face of network marketing, that Les had mentioned his name, that how much money they were making a month. I thought to myself, this is day one, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be awesome? You know, it's not too much of the money. The money become a digit. The money really become a game. It's not about the money. I said, would it be awesome to have that record and hold that world record and say, you know what, #1 icon in network marketing? Wouldn't it be awesome? That was my very first big dream in network marketing. And to have a 7-digit a month. You think 7-digit is big? You know, there's 2 comma. A lot of people get fascinated by that. But it's the story. It's the experience. It's the growing that's behind that. It was a 22 years in the making. Because 2016 officially marks 22 years of me full-time in this industry. Some people would have quit. It was a lofty dream. It was a big dream. As a matter of fact, you know, when I was down and out, I would walk around in Pasadena area or in San Marino. I would immerse myself in the rich air. I call it rich air. I go smell it. I say, you know what, smell, you know, kind of the same, but it's different. There's different air about San Marino. How many of you live in San Marino? But I would, and on Saturday and Sunday, I would get lost in San Marino. I would walk to San Marino from San Gabriel, and I would walk there for hours. I wouldn't come out. Sometimes I get lost, but I wouldn't come out. Back then, we didn't have phone, we didn't have GPS. But I would just get lost in that woods. I would just smell the air, soak it in. I thought, if I smell enough of those airs, someday I'm going to live in here. And when I see people pulling up from the driveway from San Marino, and look at those people's faces, hopefully they're not here today. I know we have some San Marino residents here. I look at them, I say, you know what? They don't look any prettier than I. They don't look any smarter than me. If they can do it, so can I. Now, when my pocket at that time had nothing, nada, I was living in my dreams. Right now, I am in the midst of my dream. I'm in the midst of my dream. This is dream for me. This is dream work for me. It's as if I dreamt this into life. This is what I love to do. And when you do what you love to do, it's when you had a breakthrough in life, and sometimes it takes this post-traumatic thing to happen for us human beings to grow. I remember 20-somewhat years ago, when I got laid off, it was traumatic. I mean, you know, I grew up in a very traditional Chinese family where it's not good to be fired. You know, in Cantonese, my fellow Cantonese would call it 炒魷魚, you know? Like, I don't know what the thing is called, cuttlefish. You know, cuttlefish, when you get fried, what does a cuttlefish do? When a cuttlefish is cooked, what does it look like? It curls up. That's a Chinese slang, you you become a fried cuttlefish. And it wasn't a proud thing. So it was traumatic for me that I got laid off, I got fired, I got downsized. But it was through that post-traumatic thing, that experience, that allowed me to enter a whole new space of discovering who I am, of discovering the strength I never really thought existed in me back then. That strength allowed me to grow as a human being. That strength deepens my relationship with myself and with people around me. And that thing strengthens my spirit and my spirituality. So sometimes things happen in our life for a reason. It is a reason. So when things didn't happen yet, don't stop there. If things had happened 6 months, I won't be able to tell the story with you guys. Jason at that time, say, you know what, Jason, it didn't happen yet, but it's right here. Good luck, Kim. I said, I will keep calling. You're going to hear from me. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to tell you. You're the first person I call. I said, you will be the first person I call. But see, when people didn't subscribe or join you in your vision, what do? What do most people do? They call it quit. A friend said, Kim, I had talked to all of my friends. I sponsored 10 people, and they all quit. So, what is your dream? Are your dreams bigger than the 10 people collectively that said no to you, that had quit on you? What is it? See, you got to have clarity. Organizing that gives us clarity of what we want. So one of them is 40K. Okay, now, my why. Bragging rights at that time. Okay? Maybe a little boost to my ego. Maybe a little boost to my chip and my ego. Whatever that might be. But it needed a story. See, when you build something from zero, from nothing, no product testimonial at that time, no check story, nothing. How do you convince other people? If you work a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, nothing happened. So to create some success, it is a must. It was a must for me as a leader. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. I have to show people that this actually worked. This business model actually worked. So I have to go out and create success. So it was a must for me to create success for myself. Because I knew it's going to happen. Because if I did it before, I can do it again. See, I did it before not because of the number. I did it before because behind those numbers, it taught me valuable lessons and experiences and things to do to get to that number. Are you guys with me so far? See, people get fascinated by this. And people get fascinated by, the diamonds or whatever, the successful entrepreneur, the things that they did. I get even more fascinated by the story behind those numbers. What took them to become successful? I get fascinated by that. And I hope you do too, because that is something of substance. That's something of growing and something of expansion to the new space and new world that you entered. Okay, now, so why? Number 3. So, number 2, my why. My why was I want to help myself and I want to help the people around me to change your lives. It makes me feel good to do. Why do I want to do that? It makes me feel good. That was my purpose in life. I really feel that I'm very blessed with a gift of people trust me. I feel that I'm blessed with a gift that people identify with me. So when you are blessed, when you're given a gift in life, it is a blessing even more so when you practice that gift. So I went out there and I told myself, if I'm going to engage in this, to help my friends around me to all get to millionaire. I better do it first. Along that way, then I said, okay, now what do I have to do? This is the things. This is something that you have to go home, you have to put down on paper. What is it you want? Some people say, listen, you know what? I cannot fathom the idea of making 40 grand a week. Maybe I want to make 10,000 a week. Now, would 10,000 a week do for most people? That's a good beginning point. Or 1,000 a week is a good beginning point. You know, as a stay-home mom, I remember my husband, you know, when I was managing my husband's medical practice at the time, you know, I get a little bored doing billing for the medical practice, and I do not like to go to clinic to see patients that were sick. You know, I don't like, I'm into wellness. I don't like medicine. And I like to stay home a lot. And so I told my husband, I said, you know what? While Hugh, our son, is very young at that time, I said, you know what, wouldn't it be cool if I can make $100 a day? That would help out the family with grocery or whatnot. Now, $100 a day, not bad, right? $100 a day is about $3,000 a month. True or not true? Now, on a part-time basis, let's keep something real. I mean, I just threw a number that was a number for me. But it can be for you too, by the way. I do not say it for me. And it's whatever number that you can fathom, whatever number you can digest in your gut, whatever number that turns you on, okay? So I said, my husband, oh, you know what? Honey, it'd be really cool. $100 a day. And I stay home, you know, help you with billing, and then, you know, I can go shopping money. You know, because I don't like to ask my husband for money to go shop at Chanel or whatever. He was, I don't understand why you have to pay a couple of grand for a purse when you can go to Target and buy that for $20. I said, it's a woman thing. Target bag. It just, you know, it's functional. It's okay for diapers and whatever. So anyway, and I didn't want to go to my husband for money, go shopping. And he wouldn't understand anyway. So I said, okay, why don't I make my own money? So I said, $100 a day, not bad. Well, you know what? When you get the $100 a day, then you go, now, but the why is very important. For me, it was a must. If you're the first person to build something from zero, if you wanted to build it to somewhere, do you have to make it work? Whatever it takes. I made a list and I called over 200 people. Did they all say yes to me? Many of them said I was smoking something. You are kidding me. What? Skincare? Do you know how many is out there? You know, there is Shiseido, there was Lancome, there's there's an N company. What are you? And your package is ugly. I said, yeah, but we're going to make it. I just knew we were going to make it. I don't know why. I just knew. I don't know why. I knew. See, it was in my imagination, and I make that imagination a reality. You couldn't do it alone. You gotta align yourself with what? With people that have a vision, with people that want the same thing and willing to do the same thing. A lot of people want the same thing. Are you kidding me? 100 grand a month? Yeah, I want it. 50 grand a month? Yeah, I want it. Well, let's go meet me here. Oh, that's too far. Let's come build this together. Oh, no. I got a job. Oh, I got kids. I got this. I got that. How many of you still use a deposit slip when you deposit check to your bank? How many of you seen what a deposit slip look like? How many of you seen it? You know, the deposit slip, some of you, the new generation, my son says, what, Mom? We're just going to do it on an iPhone. Well, you know, the deposit slip, those of you that know what a deposit slip looks like, you know, the boxes are so small. You ever notice to put the digits in? Do you know why it's so small? Because it's got no room for excuses. It's only got room for digits. Think about that. You want to succeed, and you tell me you couldn't come and you couldn't plug in and you couldn't work the business because all your friends said no to you, and you couldn't do it, you couldn't succeed because you had a job? How long you want to continue that job? It's like knowing, I'm not asking you to quit your job tomorrow. But if something is holding you down, find some time. You know, we're all busy. I'm busy. You're busy. We're all busy. You know, when something's important to you, you make time for it. A big part of my life, especially these days, it's about my emotional wellness and my spiritual wellness. And I dedicate a lot of that time. And you know when I find time for it? It's between the hours of midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. Because during the day, I was busy. During the days, I have business to run. I have a household to run. I have a kid to take care of. We all are busy. You want to know schedule? Every day, my husband takes my son to school. I pick him up from school. I work from the moment I wake up, probably until midnight. And then during the afternoon hours, I pick up my son, turn the phone off for a couple of hours, watch him do his homework. Then when his homework done, dinner, either go out or maybe sometimes when I'm free, I cook. Then when everything's done, I do the dishes. Then when the kids go to bed, do laundry. Then when it's all done, it's time for myself. I spend at least a good 2 hours reading something or something to grow my mind. Every day. And when there's time, I do yoga, I do stretching. These are some of my rituals. I am no different than any one of you. But these are something very simple to do. Just like Angie talked about, putting on the tennis shoes. It's simple, but yet it's simpler not to do. But when something you want it bad enough, that it's a must, you go get it done. So now, my to-do list. 1, I gotta learn. I gotta learn more. I gotta grow more as a human being. I gotta learn more about the business. A learning in our business is a big part of it. I gotta learn. I gotta hone my craft. I gotta get better at telling the story. I gotta get better at sharing the opportunity with other people. So, after, I would say, the 20-somewhat years in this industry, and it finally dawned on me the other day, it's when you tell people to get trained and watch videos, you know what most people do? They go, yeah, I did it. They don't do. It's amazing because to them, the business is so easy. Just open your mouth and tell people and share. But there's an art. There's an art behind it. There's a science behind it. There's a reason, a logic, a method behind it. And most people don't want to listen. They choose what people, would you agree with me or not? People choose to hear what they want to hear. People choose to believe what they want to believe. Even though they say, yeah, I'm here, I'm all here, I'm conscious with you. But you only choose to hear the things that you wanted to hear. And you choose the things you believe in what you want to believe. As a matter of fact, a lot of things that our own reality, whatever happened in our lives, it's all created by us. And it took me a lot of years to really come to that point in my life to realize that. And so, learning. You want to learn to become a diamond. You want to learn to succeed. Better get ready to learn. Commit yourself to learn. There's an art to it. You got to get good at learning. Not like people just join a business and start talking to people, start talking about, oh, this is one of those things. I hated it when people say, oh yeah, you're one of those things. What thing am I? I have a business. My neighbor, my next door neighbor, until now, she all these years she didn't want to join me. Now she want to join me. Actually, I went away from her. And she goes, oh, by the way, she called me, I think, last year, a year and a half before. Oh, Kim, the thing that you do? I said, what thing? Your thing. I said, what thing? That thing. I said, what thing? Well, I want to join you. I said, I have no thing for you to join. I did. I said, I have no thing for you to join. I said, why couldn't you say, I have an international business? Do I call your thing your thing? Do I call your business your thing? No respect. I mean, just have fun with it. So now, the things that we have to do, these are things that you have to learn. You have to learn the trick of the trade. You have to learn. Look, it looks simple, but there is an art behind it. There is a way. And you know what? Sometimes it's so, human beings are creatures of habit. You take what you learn. You take what you think you know of what to do. You start doing all that way. Until you tried it and you bump your head in the wall. A year later, you're having no success yet. Then you go, well, you know what? Maybe I really ought to listen. People say, if you teach me, if you show me, I will do it. I say, promise? I say, if you do these things, you will get to your goal. Yeah, I will do it. Watch this video, second video, third video. Well, why couldn't you tell me? You're in front of me now. I said, you just said that if I tell you what to do, then you will follow. And I just give you the specific instructions what to do. Yeah, tell me. I just told you. Video 1, 2, 3. Do it first. After you watch the video, we have a common language. We can communicate on the same frequency. Then we talk. No. You tell me now. I said, no. You want this? This is what we have to do. See, people don't want to listen. They only want to listen at their own terms. And we do that with our children. We do that with our spouse. I do that all the time with my husband. Until he calls me the queen, you know. He always tells me, oh, honey, we got to do this. And I go, I feel like I'm a maid. Oh, no, you are not a maid. You are queen of the house. Makes me feel good. You know how we label ourselves and identify our role is important. How you identify with your role is very important. Now, I'm the queen of the house. I got to take trash out. I got to mop the floor. I got to do laundry. I got to iron his shirt. I'm queen of the house. And I do it happily. Are you guys with me so far? So you got to give a role to yourself. Understanding your role. Why are you doing this? I am making a difference. I'm making a difference in this world. You know, with the economy that's happening right now, you know how many people are losing their job? I mean, Les Brown talked about it. I mean, I got to check out the statistics and I trust him. 1/3 of people will lose their job in 10 years in America. What does that mean? People are looking for change. People are looking for a way out. We are the gift. We are the gift. We can be the givers of hope. Not only voices for hope, but we can be the givers of hope. This is hope. You know why people become depressed? They're down because they feel like, you know what, where they are in their circumstances in life versus their expectation of where they want to go in life, when it doesn't match, and when they felt hopeless, and when they felt out of control, that's when they go into depression. But if we have something that there is hope, look at me. I am living, talking loud individual on stage to went from struggling, broke entrepreneur to be blessed to what I have here today. I am no different than you. I just have perhaps walked the path more than you. I've talked to people more than you. And there's a lot more people that have laughed at me, rejected me than you have. That is all. No different. And I was bold. I was courageous. When people said no to me, what did I do? Go forward. Because I knew what I wanted and I knew what I had to do. So number 1, learn, right? Number 2, what you have to do? You have to be willing to go and contact over 200 people. Whatever the number now, get this. If you only want to make $500 a week, yeah, you can reduce that number. For me, I have a big goal to hit. I want to make big money. I am in the business to create wealth. So I have to look. Now, what am I looking for, these 200 people? I was looking for entrepreneurs. I was looking for people that wanted to change their lives. I was looking for people that want to find meanings. I was looking for people to help me to build a company in the sales side. See, corporate management side, logistics, payments. We are the sales force builder. We are the dream builders. So I was looking for people that want to build a dream with me. How many of you have dreams? Show of hands. How many of you not only want to change your own life, whatever number that you want to reach, but at the same time, by changing your life, you are helping other people to change their lives. Are you guys with me so far? So what am I looking for? I'm hoping to sort at least 200 people. How many of you say, you know what, I sponsor 10 people, none of them work? How many of you happened to you? Show of hands. How many of you sponsor 10 people, none of them work? Show of hands. It's okay. What do? You haven't found your aces yet. You know, in a deck of cards, how many aces are there? How many cards total? 52. We got some gamblers in this room. Okay. So 52 cards, 4 aces. So as you flip the card, the first one, it's a 2. What do? Flip another one. Second one is a king. What do? Flip another one. What are you looking for? Aces. You have to go through 48 wrong, not correct cards, not wrong, but not correct, not the card that you're looking for. Some people say, wow, Kim, I sponsor 6 people and they all quit. What do? Keep flipping. Flip your card. But see, not only flip your card, but really examine your own action. What do? Many times, people don't make it, or they haven't had the courage to get their feet up and start walking and jumping because there's conflict in their wants and their whys. There's a conflict. What they say they want is different than their why. When you have a conflict, when those things are not aligned, you won't work. You got to be true to yourself. Some people say, I'm full-time in this business. I'm full-time pursuing something. It's not full-time or part-time. It's what you do with your time. Activities does not equal to productivity. Got to do the right activities. Call 200 people. So if you call 200 people, number 3. Now learning to me has 3 phases. The first phase of learning is the learning phase. You're learning things. Now, some of the things I talk about here this afternoon, you may get or you may not get. Some of you already blocked me out already. But it doesn't matter. The learning phase. Information is flowing in. The second phase is the involving phase. You're doing it. Then as you're doing it, you go, oh, I remember, oh, yeah, now the fast-talking Chinese girl that Kim talk about, I kind of get what she's talking about now. That you're involving it. Then once you're doing it, you're creating an experience to connect what was known here and what is new here. You're making that connection. You create that experience, then it becomes the third phase of learning. That's called absorbing phase. You are now beginning to absorb and blend in as one into your fiber of your being, of what it meant to you. A lot of times in our platform, you see a lot of the people that have success and achieved the ranks. You will see them become very emotional. Some people that's from an outsider looking at this, like, why are they so emotional? Why do they have to cry? Why are they so everything, cry? Why? Because when you have gone through the 3 phases, the learning, the involving, and the absorption process, you got it. It's a things that you go to school. A lot of things, in United States, university, get a 4-year degree. A 4-year degree, how many years you have to learn? 4, some people 5. To get a bachelor's degree. Once you get a degree, what do? You go out and find a job. Why is it that they have a lofty goal or want to be a millionaire, and yet they think that they don't need to learn? It takes time. How do you learn? There are videos, there are local meetings, there are webinars. Everything's in place. Well, I don't know how to log into webinar. Learn. This is the information age. If you don't stay on with time, time will pass you by. Les Brown talked about success leave clues. It certainly does. We're pouring our heart out to you. It's these clues, these steps to follow. There are things that you could do and emulate. Okay? So, you want it to be a diamond, you want to emulate a diamond, emulate the work ethics of the diamond. Emulate the things that took them to become a diamond. Emulate the things that they did to become a diamond, they continue to do as a diamond. That is true leadership. That is true entrepreneurship, okay? So call 200 people, learn, plug into events. Well, I don't have anybody. I could tell you this example. In the beginning, Samson was the one for years. He was the one to do the setup. He was the one to come the most early, line up all the chairs, do the PowerPoint, do the projection, and when the room has nobody in his group, he was doing it. He was doing it. He was doing it. Then as the business grew a little bit, he got smarter. He delegated to his father-in-law. And I tell you this story, that story of Mr. He Ping here, who's a traditional businessman, who's now a diamond director. He owns a very successful travel agency here locally in San Gabriel Valley. But we were doing Monday and Tuesdays. But I remember every week, He Ping will leave his office as a big boss. Now he come here as a volunteer. Do the setup like Samson was doing, hauling those big speakers every week, setting up. And I looked at him. I said, I hope and pray that someday He Ping will make it big. And you know what? He certainly did. Would you like to hear his story later on? Yeah. So give He Ping a big round of applause. So remember Les talked about you do more, you serve more than what you're paid for. We don't get paid for serving, but we get the meaning behind serving. We get the rewards and the values behind serving. As a matter of fact, this event, we have over 10 volunteers. They pay their tickets to come here. They pay the ticket price to attend this meeting. They came here early at 7 o'clock in the morning, help set up, help the projection. There was 20 volunteers. They paid to do this. They paid themselves tickets to be a volunteer, to serve. Can we have all the volunteers stand up, please? All the volunteers. Can we all help? Give them a big round of applause, please. Thank you very much. You guys are true diamonds in the serving. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. You look at them. Many of them are professionals in their own rights, and many of them quite successful. They're business owners here locally in San Gabriel Valley. Why are they doing this? To serve. I remember when I started this business, we were hosting at San Gabriel at Denny's in Rosemead Boulevard. Now they changed now. Can you imagine? We were selling $1 million dream at Denny's in Rosemead. $1 million dream. Talk about bold. We were bold. The company packaging were ugly at that time. You know, we were just a bunch of people excited. I tell you, when you give an idea to some excited entrepreneur, watch out. They will make things happen, one way or the other. We were building out of Denny's in Rosemead. I remember, we rented a room, we'd buy $100 worth of food, and people would come, and we would be talking, and it became a fire hazard, because there was too many people showing up. And I remember that after I would talk about 2 hours, and after everybody left, I would go to a counter and I would pay the bill. I would do it week after week after week. How many were willing to do that? See, when you wanted something bad enough, you go make it happen. But be specific now. I'm willing to talk to 200 people. I'm just going to give you an overall example of how I took myself or took the person that you're looking at from wherever I was, broke, but with a dream. Ordinary, but with extraordinary dream. To be from where I was to be where I am. And these are things that I've learned and I've practiced day in and day out to be where I am. So if you want to succeed, and these are things that you do. It's very simple. What is it you want? Be very specific. Second thing is your why. Why do you want? What is it so important to you? It was important to me, like I shared with you before. I want to amass more wealth. I want to help make a difference. I want to do more things. So you write down those things that's important to you. And as a matter of fact, some of the things I wanted in the very beginning when I started this career, one of my biggest why was I want to make my parents proud. You know, for the longest time, my parents always say, Kim, you're the black sheep of the family. And so, because it's true, I was different. I have 3 sisters, 1 older and 2 younger ones, and we're all college grads. And, 3 of them had great jobs. And I got laid off, and I told myself I refuse to ever get a job again. I refuse. I refuse to have someone to tell me, say, Kim, you're fired. I refuse ever to let anyone tell me I'm fired again. I told myself, if I give 10 years of my life working at a job, I don't want to give another 10 years for someone to lay me off ever again. I want to take control back in my hand again. So now, I told myself I will never, ever go get a job. But I want to share with you a story of what it takes an entrepreneur to make it. I remember, I think this must have been 15 years ago. I don't know, around there. You know, once you have a kid, you know, all the time and all the traveling I've done, every year, it's like I'm mushed together, okay? So about, I don't know, 15 years ago. No, 15, 17 years ago. I was at a point in my career that I made money, but I didn't know how to manage it, and I lost money. So at that time, I told myself I will never, ever go back to a job again. My sister, at that time, she was working in Hong Kong. She graduated, got an MBA from USC. Then she left USC, she worked for Sony in Hong Kong. And so I remember I said, you know, hey, Christy, I'm sorry, you know, things are not working out. Can you help me out? My sister said, I think you should go get a job, Kim. Stop dreaming. Go get a job. Get a real job. I said, no, give me a chance. I said, I never asked for any help, but this time, help me out. She goes, okay, fine. She goes, I will help pay half of your mortgage. I think for 6 months or 3 months, I forgot. So I will help pay 3 or 6 months of your mortgage, half of it. And if you still don't make money, you better go get yourself a job. I said, deal. So I made a deal with her. She helped me pay 50% of mortgage because my parents are staying with me at that time in San Gabriel. And I think 3 or 6 months later, I wasn't making enough. I was pursuing my dream, but it wasn't time yet at that time for me. So you know what I did? I suck it up. I told myself I would never, ever get a job again. Guess what? I made a deal with my sister. If it didn't work, I would go find a way. And you know what I did? I found myself a job. I hated it, every second of it. But I found myself a job. It was a promise I made to myself. Now, keep in mind, you know how, and I hope you're feeling this, because I know that through this story, it will resonate with some of you. And I remember the job that I got was in North Hollywood. And we were selling some, marketing, routing numbers, 1-800 numbers. And I remember I would drive from, I forgot where, I was driving from San Gabriel to North Hollywood. And every second of going to work, it was as if it's eating something. It's like it's eating me alive inside. Because I told myself I would never get a job, but I had a job. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I had a job that paid me $50,000 a year in base salary and plus commissions. So you know what I did? Because I told the people that I would never get a job, but now I had a job. I felt like there was conflict in what I said and what I was doing. So there was a little bit of inauthenticity within myself. And what I would do is when the phone call comes, when I was being a business side phone comes, I would take it from my cubicle. I said, hello? Yeah, not now, later. And I remember as soon as I'm out of that job, I would drive all the way to Irvine and do meetings at night. Nobody knew I had a job. I suck it up, and I worked it, and I worked it. And guess what? 9 months later, I saved enough money, I walked away from the job. I quit my job. But you got to do what it takes. I did what it takes. So I told my sister, never, ever will you have to worry because I'm going to fight for my dream. I saved enough money, and I went at it again. And I did something. So through that story, sometimes, when we say something out, we just got to be courageous enough to face reality and be in alignment. Because it was one of the most uncomfortable feeling for myself and within myself when I was working a job and that nobody knew. None of my friends knew I had a job. I felt like I was lying to myself and lying to people around me. But you know what? I did what it takes. I did what it takes to build my dream, to continue to pursue my dream. And so, plug into events. So these are things that I knew I have to do. I have to create an environment, help other people to succeed. So when I knew that, you know what? If I want to do this is my want. If I want to do this is what I have to do to get it. That's simple. You want to make whatever that you want to make? So the way to tell people, the most authentic people to share, see, it's not about, let me go get somebody in my business. I don't need to get nobody in the business. If they don't want to get in the business, don't even sign up. People say, well, I'm going to sign up, give you face. I said, please, save me your face. Do not sign up if you don't want to sign up. What for? Why bother? What am I looking for? I'm looking for a few good ones to build something with me. I'm looking for a few good ones to make a difference in this world. Yes, it's a great anti-aging product, whatever platform you're engaging in, be it in your mortgage field, your real estate, whatever you do. If you believe enough in what you do, you're passionate enough about what you do, you will succeed. When everything is in alignment, it doesn't have to be genetics, it's whatever that you do in life. When you are passionate about what you do. And that's how we did it. Country after country. I remember going to Indonesia, in Surabaya, a whole group of people, a couple of hundred people stood up and laughed at us, me and Wendy. I mean, it was pretty tough. I mean, can you imagine doing meetings just like this? Me and Wendy were in a meeting with a translator, and one guy stood up and everybody cheered, another girl stood up and everybody cheered, and everybody started challenging us. I just told them, look guys, we're here looking for a few good ones. If you don't like it, thank you very much, arigato, the door's wide open. I mean, look, you gotta be authentic. I told Winnie and a few, Samson, I said, listen, we are here to build an international business. I said we want to be disruptive. We don't want to play in the red ocean. Yeah, that's me too. I don't want a me too. I want something different. I want to play in the big blue ocean. Let's go out there and make history. Let's go out there and have done something that hit in network marketing that never ever done before. Let's go out there with a group of us to build an international company, an international platform. Do it the new way. 6.5 years later, 120 somewhat countries. 6.5 years later, be the fastest company in the history of network marketing to become $1 billion company. To watch a company to go from 0 to 1.1 billion in 2015. Did you know? It's like Harvard, all these schools, Stanford, they would want to come to us and study this model. What was it took from 0 to $1 billion in 6.5 years? Think about that. Nu Skin, Amway, took them 20 plus years. 6.5 years. The world's changing. Technology literally changed the way we make money, changed the way we do business, changed the way we live life. Get on with it. To me, this is life. You know, I get to do what I love to do, at the same time get to learn, to grow, and create wealth with the people I care about, people that I want to work with. So I hope that you get a sense of that fulfillment here. And if people want to say, I want to join your thing, don't bother. Really, I love you as a friend. Don't need to join my thing. But if you want to change your life, you want to find a way out of whatever disappointment you had, you want to expand your new world, you want to remove some of the limitation on your old belief system, you want a new value system, a new belief system, you want a new possibility, welcome home. This is life. It is done that for me and many of my friends around the world. You have no idea how fulfilling it feels. And almost every country I started with, and now every country that I go back to the countries I started with, those people that started with us are still working the business 6.5 years later. But their lives are completely changed. Some of you play Facebook. If you're on Facebook with some of those friends, you will see the pioneers of this company, their lives are completely changed. Many of them buying fancy cars, many of them buying beautiful mansions. People from the outside may be fascinated by the mansion, by the bling bling, by those cars. Perhaps if you take time to go behind that diamond face and to go behind to see the work that they've done, you will grow as a human being. You will learn. It will give you value. It will give you meaning. Because it certainly had done it for me. I like to call a lady that's really has been a pillar of strength for this organization. And I have literally saw her transformed from where she was to a beautiful person, both inside and out. This lady is when I first met her, very just as a matter of fact kind of person. Money, it's like, hey, black and white, just give me a dollar, give me a digit, boom, boom, boom. And I knew that this person is very wise, very smart, has a lot of potential within her. But through this platform, I believe she would tell you her story of how it took her, with her experience and past success, but how that had even taken her to a much higher level through this platform in the last few years. So with that, let's help me welcome our Double Diamond Director, Ms. Yvonne Yan.
Well, thank you, Kim. When Kim described the lady, I think it sounds like me, the old me. For sure, earlier when she talked about the fitness, who inspired her, I know definitely it's not me. I'm very grateful to be speaking in front of you, tell you a little bit about my background. I actually came to the States when I was 17 or 18 years old. I went to USC for college, and after college, I'm an immigrant, so we live American dream. So I want to climb the corporate ladders. But every January, I was very depressed because I have to listen to my boss to value me. And I don't like that. Usually, there's a big discrepancies. So after that, I decide I want to have my own business. And since I have been in the financial service industry, I say it would be cool for me to pursue a financial advisor on my own. And actually, that time, I was a little bit hesitant, just like many of you. Maybe you want to start your own business, but you don't know if you should move the first step. So I remember at that time, there's a coach who is very successful in my firm. He said that to me. He says, Yvonne, if you never take that chance, you don't want to ever ask yourself when you check out, what if at the age of 26, 28, what if I took that opportunity, what my life would be turning around? So after I listened to his advice, I submit my resignation and start my own entrepreneurship life. So long story short, it was actually an accident for me to learn about this amazing global business opportunity. The first 6 months, because of my own ego, that I do not think this is a big business, because that time I was still very busy with my own financial practice. So for the very first 6 months, I did not bother to learn. I did not bother to open myself to see other side of this business. But it was after 6 months, you talk about, Kim talk about the why. I tell you why I want to engage in the business. Because that time I saw the people who joined around the same time as me had a substantial growth in this business. But in the meanwhile, my own traditional business world, because of the economy go down, the recession back in 2009, 2010, I said, why at the same time in the same city, there is a group of people doing well, but they can also be a group of the people not doing so well. So I have that big question mark. That's how I decide to engage in the business. I say, you know what? If this is indeed a good business, let me surrender myself to learn, to see, and then I can still decide if I want to keep going. So I'm glad I made that choice. So 6 years later, now as the first timer in this business, my business has spread to over 50 countries. And many of those countries, I did not even know how to pronounce the name. I have not even been to that country. And these days, I met a lot of realtors, a lot of financial business. We share the same backgrounds. And I usually use this example to share with them. I say, you know what? When I was the advisor, financial advisors, we label our prospect A, B, C, D. If you don't make $250,000 a year, you are not my A-plus client. I think many of you can register that. So that time we spent all our focus to look for people making $250,000 a year, and not many of those, So now time has changed in this amazing business circle. The people that I dream to have it as my A-plus client, now they are my best partners in this business. Before, I have to find them. Now, they find me. You know, it's a very interesting feeling. Before, I have to go out there, no matter how far you are, I sit down with you, I'm below you. Why? Because you know I am here to get your money, to help you to invest. You are my client, I have to serve you. And there's nothing wrong with it. But now when you really get the essence of this business, that you have a vehicle in your hand, that not only you can help people to be rich, you can tell people, to teach people, to share the best life experience you ever have. Your mindset change. If you want to see me, at my time, on my schedule, and at my convenience. You know, not saying that I'm being picky right now, which I'm a little bit picky now, but it's just when you really want something, when you choose the right platform, make the right decisions, you can put yourself on the map that you can never ever dream. I mean, now, just because of that one decision I made, I did not have that story like Kim, like Samson. I'm very blessed. I mean, I'm from a very simple family, and I did not have that extreme of being laid off or really struggle as an entrepreneur. I mean, my life was very flat in the past. So I did not have those stories. But what have I done right? I asked myself, you know what, Kim is telling her story, but I did not have that kind of story to tell because my life was very 9 to 5, very simple. But one thing I did it right is I took the chance. I put my left foot in front of the right foot, in front of the left foot, in front of the right foot. I did not jump into the conclusions, but I choose to continue to dig the story. And I'm very blessed 6 years later. Now, not only my life is being transformed, my family's life is totally being transformed. I mean, yesterday, you know, someone need to edit this out, okay? I'm going to tell you about a story of my husband. Last year, for those of you who know the story, I gave him a present. Actually, not last year, 2 years ago, back in the end of 2014. My husband was an IT programmer. I mean, work for the corporate is very stressful. So in 2014, in Thanksgiving, I gave him the present. I said, if you want, honey, you can retire. You can say goodbye to your boss. And he told me, actually, we have that conversation many times. He said, there's no way I'm a man. How can I quit my job, okay? But in 2014, when I gave him that offer, I said, in January, that can be your New Year gift. He said, I don't need to wait till New Year gift. I take your present right now. So this holiday, it has been a year. It has been a year since he really stayed at home. You know, we enjoy the quality time. We take care of the kids, and he work on his stuff. I don't know why he's working on his stuff, but at least he has the option to do. So, very interesting. Yesterday night, I visit a friend in Walnut because they are having a private business reception tomorrow, and they want me to look at the environment, how to do the setup. So we just drop off our kids at church. So I asked my husband to come along. I usually don't take my husband to the business environment. But we share one car, so it's okay. He went with me. So he said, hey, what if your friend asks me what I do? What should I answer? And I said, you told him, when people ask you, what do? You say, I enjoy life. And yesterday, Rose, your husband, did ask my husband, what do you do? So on the way back, I said, what did you answer? I told him, I enjoy life. So, you know, these are the things that it was never, ever on my career planning. You know, one of the men I admire a lot is Peter Drucker. I'm very blessed to attend his class before he passed away. He's the legend in the business. He said, in life, there's no such thing as a career planning. But what we have been doing is to prepare ourselves so that you can recognize the opportunity. When the opportunity knocks on the door, at least you are ready to recognize that is for you. That's it. There's no such thing. If you asked me 20 years ago, when I came to the States, would I end up where I am today? I said, there's no way, you were crazy. But just because I choose to move myself one step after another, I'm blessed to be with this amazing global movement. So with that, I want to take this time to thank you, my dear friend Kim, for all your leadership, for your visions. I'm not as brave as her, and I'm not as kind as her. The other day we were driving to somewhere. I said, I'm not as kind as you. I just want to get things done. So until still today, she's my great mentor to teach me, to talk to me, be nice, you know. Try to help me to grow. And I also want to take this time to thank my brother, Mr. Samson Lee, who you will see him in a quick moment. So that's my story. So thank you for your time.
Let's call on our handsome, good-looking guy. And it was him that started this project with him, and I'm very grateful that because of him, he truly has been not only a pioneer, but that rock, that Gibraltar for our organization. So with that, let's welcome Double Diamond Director, handsome Samson Lee.
This industry has really changed my whole perspective on life, and sometimes things happen in life, and times have changed. For those of you who don't know me, my background, I'm originally from Hong Kong, but I came to the States when I was very small, and so I educated here. I studied finance and real estate at Cal State Northridge. After I graduated, I'm like, I'm going to go be my own boss. You know, studying finance is a glamorous industry. My dad was in that, but he made money, but also lost a lot of money. And when I went for interview, for example, I did, interview at State Farm after I got out of college. I'm trying to get a $36,000 a year job. They said no to me. I'm saying, $36,000 is nothing. You know what? I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go do something on my own. So I opened my real estate office with my dad. And then after that, a few years later, I got into the furniture business. So I was a traditional business owner. I used to have 3 furniture stores in the San Fernando Valley, Westlake Village, and Ventura. I worked very hard. I think I'm like most people, you know, especially entrepreneurs. If you have your own business, there's no time to rest, right? You have to keep it going, and you have to pay the rent. You have to pay, the tax. You have to pay the employees. It's a responsibility. And I did that. And I thought, having a store is pretty easy. You buy low, sell high. Except they didn't tell you about the financial tsunami that happens. Or things that happen that you cannot control, like 9/11. So when that happened in 2001, I couldn't control it. The economy was slowing down dramatically. So I had to get out in 2004. And that was the time I changed to I decided when I was liquidating my furniture store, I sent it to an auction, get quick cash. I saw this guy talking real fast. I figured maybe I can do that. And so I went to Texas to take an auction school. And I came back to LA and tried to become an auctioneer. That was very interesting, though. Because, how many of you know an auctioneer, first of all? Right? And so most people don't have any idea. Anyway, I went networking, and that's how I met Kim. And it was 10 years ago when I met her. I saw her in a business. And you see how passionately she speaks today? Yes. And she was the same way 10 years ago. And that really inspired a lot of people, including me. But more than that, I saw her help a lot of people become successful. And many people just like me. I had no idea what it is. I'm not clear on the business model. But the thing was, if a business makes sense, if people are making money, that means it can be done. The question is how. So I became a very good student. When we started Jeunesse, when Kim called the 4 of us to her house, the 5 of us sitting around her kitchen table, I know some of you saw in the video her story. Well, I've never made money in this kind of business before. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't care. I know what she can do. And the other 3 people, I've seen Kim help them make money. One of them is Weenie, who bought a house in Vegas. And so 6 years ago, I'm like, you know what? I'm all in. Because I was a business owner. I know what it takes. Like Les said, we can do hard. Oh, yeah. But I want to make a lot if I'm going to do that. At that time, to be very honest, and it's very interesting, though, that I hear from a lot of people who are successful when they interview them is that They never thought of failing. And I don't think we did either. At the beginning, we never talk about failing. No, right, Winnie? That never even came up. We're just going to go do it. That was it. We didn't doubt it. We just did it. We didn't question ourselves. We just did it. So we took massive action, and it's been a ride. It's been quite a ride. I was debt-free in a couple of years. Lifestyles changed, a couple of Porsches in the garage. And when, I downgraded myself from a one-bedroom apartment to a one-bedroom at my friend's house, paying $450 a month. I budgeted myself $100 a week for food and gas and insurance, whatever's left over. So I was surviving I was leasing a car in my friend's name for $200 a month, right? No credit. That's how I started Jeunesse. I still remember Kim would laugh because when I took her to the airport, she'd get in the car, we were in Diamond Bar, and the light on my gas tank would be on. And she said, "Are we going to make it?" I said, "Don't worry, I calculate every single mile. My Honda is very efficient." When you don't have money, you do that, right? How about you do that? Okay, you know what I'm saying, right? That's how we started. And it's a real blessing to be here standing in front of you today. I'm amazing on the same stage as Les Brown and Kim. And I'm very grateful because actually our success is not ourselves. It's the whole team, it's people around the world that help us become successful. So that's why we continue here to pay it forward. And that's what we want to do. I don't know what the future is for all of us because nobody can look in. Any fortune tellers in here? Okay, just checking. Sometimes there are. Okay. We cannot see in the future, but for sure, we can trust in ourselves and the people that are around us that can help us get to where we want to. And that's the thing. When Les Brown say OQP, only quality people, that's the people that's in this room today. So all of you, congratulations. Thank you very much for letting me share.
Thank you. So I hope that you get what you're looking for here today. You came here today. And just to kind of recap a little bit, that this thing called life that we're all a part of, the things that you wanted to get, to have, you aspire to have and to be and to become, this thing, what helped me is first to do the mental decluttering, that to have clarity, organize in a category that's of importance to you. Then the next three things is the 3 W's. First, in each category, what do you want? Be specific about it. What is it you want in that category? In business, how much money you want to make a week? Because this, as time goes, a goal is set to evolve. As we human beings, as we grow as individuals, our goals also evolve, also change. And as technology change, industry change, timing change, everything evolves. So at least for now, have clarity of where you want it to go. So organize it, then step number 1, want. What is it you want to accomplish? What is it you want to achieve? Second, why do you want it? Second W, why do you want it? Because your why is your fuel. It is that juice that help you. That's a driving force that help you drive through the peaks and valleys. When people say no to you, when people do not see what you saw, when things don't meet your expectations, it is the why that's going to help you drive through. Continue, keep on going on. When you put in your last $20 driving from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and then you had the hope of building a team there, and somebody signed them, and when you came back, they canceled. Now that is in the valleys of life at that moment. What do? It is your why. Why? What is it you want? Are you here yet? If not, these are what you have to do. Continue. Look until you find your aces. Look until you find someone with a like vision, like-minded, want to do the same thing in life, that to achieve this. So when you talk to people, you say, listen, you just be authentic about it. I found this incredible opportunity. As you know, I've been a realtor. As you know, I've been a housewife. As you know, I've been a whatever, and I've been working for this. The economy took a turn. Whatever that is, I wanted more in life, and I found something. And I'm here to look for a few people that want to build something with me. That's what I said to Winnie. That's what I also said to Samson and a few other people. Some liked it. they join me. Some don't like it, they laughed at me. Some are kind, they say, good luck. Like Karen Manis, say, good luck to you, Kim. Call me when you become successful. I said, you bet you I will call you. And I moved on. So when you're why, these are things that you have to do. You got to learn to master the trade. Learn to master what are some of the things. You know, when you have a chance to rub shoulders with the people that have success, ask them, what is it that took you? I mean, think about when you have, whatever it is, if some of the, how many of you, from the stories that you heard just today, it resonates something with you, and it ignited something in you. How many of you have that? If, you know what? So it doesn't matter what we call it. If there's something that can ignite something in you, that allow you to become a better person, that if there's something that can help you achieve some of your dreams, would you do it? See, so the 3W, what are your wants? Be specific. Why do you want it? Why is it important you want it? And then the last thing is, what do you have to do? What are some of the things you have to do? And number one thing is you got to learn. Learn it, involve it, and then you'll be able to absorb it. And so, you know, this is all about paying it forward. I came out here today, and we're leaving to Hong Kong and next week and to Taiwan next week. But because we have a lot of people flying in, and I do want to take the time for 2 hours and this evening, 6 to 8, to help put a strategy down, because a lot of people ask for private meeting. I said, listen, you know what? Those who want it, I will do that and do a specific plan, and to answer your question, how to build this business. So 6 to 8 right here. But to wrap it all up, this whole thing, you know, besides the O and the 3 W's, I hope that it gives you, to me, it's a three driving forces to really just kick it off to a start. How many of you, when you have this thing you want, how many want to just get your body just kick into gear? How many want to do that? Like, you know, no more, you know, a lot of people, how many of you know how to drive? How many of you have those cars that have a, what's it called? The hand brakes. You know, hand brakes, right? See, we have a dream, and we have a vehicle we want to drive, but we are driving with our hand brakes on. Do you know what I'm saying? How many want to unleash a handbrake? Handbrake down. Switch the gear and go. How many want that? The 3 things. Number 1, clarity. You gotta be clear on what you want. If you're not clear, ain't gonna get it. Oh yeah, it's nice to be rich. What does rich mean to you? It's nice to have money. Well, how much money is it? It's nice to have things. Well, what you gotta have clarity of what you want to accomplish. It's like, you know, I remember when I first got laid off, when I first became jobless. You know, when I had a job, I knew what to do. Every day, get up, you know, I was told what to do. I had a job description. I was told what to, I know what time I need to get up to fight the traffic, to go from here to Century City. I used to work for Northrop Grumman, an aerospace company in Century City. So I knew it takes me about an hour and a half to drive to Century City. So I knew what I had to do to get paid on a job. So those kind of things, the minute I got laid off, see, when I work a job, I work from 9 to 6 o'clock. By the time I come back from Century City out here, about sometimes 8 o'clock at night. So I was told what to do. Well, I would say I was conditioned by society of what to do. Well, the minute I got laid off, I thought, hoo-hoo. In a way, I was depressed. On another way, I go, hoo-hoo. You know, maybe it's a chance to live up, to awaken my dreams again. But at the same time, it seems like every day, just hours just fly by. So what did I do today? As if, I can always push it to tomorrow. Because no one was there to tell me what to do. Because I didn't have a job. It's liberating. At the same time, if you don't know what you want, if you lack clarity, a day will go by just like that. I remember there are times that when I didn't feel like talking to people. I remember there were times I didn't want to share and look for other entrepreneurs. I said, I will do it tomorrow. Today, I'm going to run my dry cleaning. I'm going to go to dry cleaner. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Before I know it, tomorrow came. Never amount to anything. The next day came. The next day came. The next day came. So in order to succeed, you got to have a plan. You got to have clarity of what you need to do in advance before the day comes. So getting a good habit, getting a notepad. So have clarity, number one. Number two, to be clear of your values. What are values? Why is it important to you? Clarity, what you want, and why is it important? For me, when I engaged in this industry in the beginning, I just want to make my parents proud because they always say I was a black sheep in the family. And then they worry about me the most. We're all college graduate, but me, I was, I got no job. And so it's like, Kim, we worry about you. My Mercedes that I had, the first Mercedes you saw in the video, the Mercedes Corporation called me every day to try to find out where I parked that car. So they were worried about me. But I want to show my parents, Mom and Dad, I was right. I told my mom and dad, let me pursue my dream. I know it might take me longer, but I know I'm going to get there. I knew I'm destined to be a millionaire. But after I get the millions out of the way, it's not the millions. It's the lessons, the person I became. It's the progress, the growth, the individual, the things that I was able to gravitate and levitate towards. So when you have clarity of what you want, then and you plan things in advance and value things that's of importance to you. It was very important for me that my parents do not worry about me. It was important for me that I want to buy a house, just like Les talked about. When I heard his story on cassette tapes, I want to do the same thing. I said, someday I want to be like Les. I want to be able to buy my parents a home. And I did. I said, someday I want to take my parents traveling first class. And I did. So these are things that was important to me. These are things that gave value in my life. Values are things that are important to you in your life. Look, if you have children, growing children, you want to be able to have enough money put aside for your kids' education. You want to do things, you want to travel the world when you are young and able. People say, well, we're going to retire at age 65. My parents retired at age 65. I said, Mom and Dad, I want to take you around the world and travel, not when you're old and you can't go nowhere. I want you to take you around the world so you can walk and dance and do whatever you want to do. So there was something that was important. That was some of my values. And the other value is important to me is that it was valuable in my life. It's important in my life that I want to make something of myself. My father, age 53, gave up everything in Hong Kong. My mom and dad, my father was 53, my mother was 40-something. They moved the entire family, 4 girls, from Hong Kong, came here to Los Angeles with no job in sight. Borrow airfare for 6 people. Borrow airfare for 6 of us. Come here with $2,000 in their pocket. No job in sight. We were not on welfare. We were prideful people. My mom said, we will find a job and we're going to do this. We refuse to go on welfare. And my mom and dad said, no matter what you do, you got to go through college. You're going to finish college, get a good job with a golden rice bowl. Chinese like rice bowls. Golden rice bowl meaning a stable. So we did that. But you know what? Life changed. Sometimes some of the courses we didn't sign up for. Some courses we enrolled, some courses we didn't enroll, but they were put in there for us to grow. You don't have to be like me, or like Les, or like Samson, to have been put in a situation that we were forced to make a change. You could be someone like Yvonne, very stable, steady business, life. But the difference, the commonality amongst us is that there's something more within us that we wanted. And I know some of you are very successful in your own right, maybe at your job. Maybe many people, I believe, in society today are looking for something. They might be doing well financially, but they're looking for something more fulfilling. I don't know about you, but when you lighten up with hope, with dream, and with the possibility that you have hope in life, you will stand taller, you will sit up taller. If you knew that whatever you want in your life can come true, how would you walk? How would you sit? Would you sit taller? You see, our physiology tells a lot about us. Something like this. It tells a lot about persona. Look, just do this exercise. Those of you that are sitting like this, like that, it's okay. I mean, I'm not here to judge. But this is what this industry had taught me in the trenches, working like everyone else as an entrepreneur with a dream. All of you, can you do me a favor? One of you sitting, can you have your back sit up straight? Sit up straight. Sit up straight tall. Your neck straight. And put a smile on your face. How do you feel? The energy is different. See, this is very simple. No matter what I say, some people will not do it. Look, you're not fighting with me. Don't fight with your life. We live in this planet, I don't know for how many years. Be happy and embrace what life has to offer. Because it certainly have touched and moved me as a human being in this platform. And I do hope that you feel it. And I do hope that you see that 22 years ago, I was in my 30s or late 20s, 30s or whatever. I was a struggling entrepreneur, had heard this message, this voice of Les Brown. And I worked it, and I worked it, and I worked it, because I said, someday I'm going to tell Les my story. I said, someday I'm going to tell Les in person. Who would have thought that someday I was able to travel with Les? We spoke together in Singapore. We spoke together in Hong Kong. And we spoke together in Macau. And we spoke together in my hometown right here in St. Gabriel Valley. So dreams do come true. Don't fight with life. Be part of it. Be part of it. We are not here to make any judgment. We are just passengers and messengers. We have perhaps walked through that journey, passed a road that you perhaps about to pass, and we come back and say, listen, guys, avoid these pitfalls. Straight up tall. Smile. There's hope. There is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I hope that you found this training helpful to you. And I hope that those three things, the clarity, the value, gives you clarity, the value. Now, age is coming. Age is coming. Are you paying attention? What was the 2C again? The clarity, the value. And last but not least, belief. What is belief? Believe. What is belief? Believe that you know for certain that's going to happen. How many of you know? You don't worry about the how, okay? Our logic, I think the left brings a logic, okay? Our logic would say, well, how are we going to do this? But how many of you know, without a shadow of doubt, that you're meant to live in abundance on earth? How many of you know that? How many of you know that you're meant to be somebody special on earth? You know what? That's knowing. That is certainty. That is belief. It has nothing to do with your circumstances. I was put in a course in life, struggling, broke, but so abundant in dream and hope. I was put in a course, and I knew, and I knew, and I knew, without shadow of doubt, that I was meant to be someone special. And so are each and every single one of you. We came here to do something for Mother Earth. And even more so than ever, the timing for all of us is to awaken, to really say, why are we here? Why are we here? Why are you here? And sit down. And Les really had hit the nail in his head. You know, the broom, he says, knows where corner to sweep. He's absolutely right. If you listen carefully, he's absolutely right. It's time to question yourself. Ask yourself questions. This questioning brings into higher levels of thinking, into more creative area. The right side of our brain are creative. See, our right side brain, we create all this stuff. Sometimes the logic, the left side of the brain, that pull us back. But believe in something of yourself. You too are meant to do something. Just your presence, just your energy, your presence sitting right here is making a difference to the people around you. So I'm forever grateful. You guys have been incredible, and I'm forever grateful for your presence here today. It is as much as sharing that I talked, throughout this talking, the last few hours, I grew as an individual. Just by connecting with some of your energy, you have somehow, some way enriched me and enriched my life. So with that, thank you very much and have a safe journey home.